welcome to another video. So welcome to episode 4, I think, of Bookbox Battle. Might be episode 5. I don't know. Welcome to another episode of Bookbox Battle. Now I am kind of cheating. So normally when I do Bookbox Battle, I do my unboxing and I immediately pick my books and go straight into my bedroom and do the first chapter challenge. However, I'm not doing that this week because I'm not actually filming the vlog yet. The vlog will be happening. I've literally basically just wrapped up last month's Bookbox Battle, so this vlog won't actually be happening for a couple of weeks, but I have 3 boxes sat in front of me and I want to unbox them. So I'm going to do the unboxing part and then you're going to see me in about 2 weeks time where I do the picking and the first chaptering. And yes, first chaptering is a term, I've decided so. So this week, or this month, we've got the usual suspects of adult fairy loot and a Luma Crate. And we have got Fairy Loot Romantasy. This is a new subscription, which I am very excited by. And to be honest, the Romantasy one is the reason why I'm wanting to do this unboxing now that I've got all 3. I am going to be joined by Bella. She has just jumped up. It's about 4 o'clock at the moment. She gets fed at about 5:36ish. Which means that from any time after I have lunch, she thinks that she's about to die of starvation and likes to be near me, reminding me that I haven't fed her yet. So she's going to just be floating around slightly in the way. Right, now, let's get to the unboxing part. I might save Romantasy to last. So I might start with the Luma Crate and then do Adult Fairy Loot and then Romantasy Fairy Loot. I once again have not bought a pair of scissors with me, so we're going to just do stabbing with a pen and get it off with a Luma Crate. I am not a rep for any of these, but a Luma Crate is a monthly box which contains a brand new science fiction or fantasy book, which is normally either an adult or YA. I find that with the Luma Crate books, they tend to go more adult, new adult. They don't tend to be YA, or like if they are YA, they don't tend to be like a young YA. But this month's theme is magic versus science. We've got the spoilers in there, which I will be looking at. Next month's theme is magical bonds. So first of all, chuck that away. First thing I can see is these reusable cotton pads, which I really like. I do actually use reusable cotton pads. So we've got 2 designs. We've got this design and we've got this design. And they come in a little bag, which is good. Moths and Poppies reusable wash pads, designed by Carla Watts, featuring artwork inspired by the Bone Season. I'm not a fan of the Bone Season, but I like those. They are useful. I like them. Oh no, this is, ooh, that's kind of satisfying. This is a pair of gardening gloves, designed by Christina Pani-Bianco. Summon the power from the surviving sky with these lovely garden gloves featuring plants that are important in the story. I think these are to do with the book of the month. I do enjoy gardening. So I will use these. I do have gardening gloves, but I will use these. These do look fairly cheap, I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't know if you can see, but the fingers are kind of all twist, the plasticky stuff. I mean, they're all sort of stuck together, but the plasticky stuff that is that protects your fingers is kind of all twisted around the front. It's not just overlapping the front, it's kind of all a bit twisted around, and they do look to be quite thin, but they fit nicely. They are a lot thinner than other gloves that I've got, but they will be good for like potting rather than like doing any real gardening. I like them. Okay, I can see a big item that I'm going to leave, so I'm going to go with this one next. I think this is, this is just an empty tin. Choose me bookmark tin. Store all your bookish reading supplies in this stunning bookmark tin inspired by a song of silver flame like night. It has got a quote on the front that says, I wish for you to not go anywhere without me. In this world and the next, I wish for you to choose me. Nice, pretty designs. I thought this was going to be like a cutlery set or something. I'm probably not going to use a tin. It's sort of too thin to use much. I don't, it's not big enough for me to fit in all of the very many bookmarks that I have got. And yeah, I'm probably not going to use that, but I appreciate it. This, oh my God, this box is enormous. Oh, okay, no, exciting. This is a science fiction bookcase, 1,000 piece jigsaw puzzle. That excites me. So I've actually unhauled the other jigsaws that we've got in a Luma Crate because they've been like 50, 100 piece, like little diddly ones. And I don't really do jigsaws, but 1,000 piece, I think the picture will be that way. I'm excited by this. I have no idea where I'm going to like have room to do this, but I think this is brilliant. I really love the box. That is gorgeous. If they continue doing like a series of jigsaws, I can see these being fun. I don't really know what makes it science fiction because there's a TARDIS on there, but none of the books have got like titles. Excuse you, Bella. So it's just a bookcase. I wouldn't say that, in fact I would say this looks more fantasy than science fiction, judging by like the mask and the crown, they're kind of fantasy things, but there we go, apparently it's a science fiction bookcase. So finally, pulling away the box, the book of the month. Now I'm going to be honest, this book didn't massively excite me, and one of the main reasons that I didn't skip this one is because I've skipped last month's, and also I know that this author was impacted by the Kate Coran drama earlier in the year, and so I wanted to support where possible. But these are the edges. The book is To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods by Molly X. Chang. We've not got anything under the dust jacket. I'm going to put that on the cat. We've got an illustrated hardback, very stunning end papers that are different. The book is signed. Do we have a map? Because I like a map. Pages are slightly stuck together. Well, pages are actually quite stuck together. There's no map, but I'm having to separate. Yeah, I'm going to have to rip that. Can you see how far up that is stuck together? I'm not going to rip it. There's nothing on that page, but those pages are completely stuck together. Anyway, I'm going to just read you out the synopsis for this one before we get on to the fairy leaves. Heroes die, cowards live. But for as long as Yang Riang has been alive, the empire of Erlang has been occupied by Romans, who mercilessly defeated the magic of her people. Now the invaders' advanced science, technology and military make them gods. But Ruang is special, having been blessed by death and born with the ability to pull life out of mortal bodies. When Antony, the second prince of Rome, discovers Ruying's power, he offers her an impossible deal. If she becomes his private assassin and eliminates his political rivals, her family will be protected. Can Ruying trust this prince, whose promises of a better world make her heart ache and whose smiles make her pulse beat faster? Are the evils of their agreement really in the service of a much greater good, or will she betray her entire nation to guard those she loves the most? Sounds interesting. It does sound like it is fairly YA, but it sounds interesting. So I think for me, my favourite item is either my favourite item is probably, I did just hit myself in the face with them, it's probably the makeup wipes, just because while I adore the jigsaw, I don't know if I have got like the space to be able to use that, but I like it. So I'm going to move those to one side and I'm going to get started on the fairy. So I'm going to start off with the adult fairy loot, that again, so the theme this month is the occult. I do know what book this is. I'm excited by this book. And we have got, we've got some character artwork with a letter from the author. We've got some very pretty edges. Nice. And the book is Evocation by S.T. Gibson. I believe this looks like, this might be the standard cover but in a different colourway. So under the dust jacket we have got gilding, very pretty. We have got a complete, excuse you Bella, we've got a complete redesign on the back that is reversible. I won't be reversing. We've got, before I get it dressed again, we have got the end papers, which are different. Oh, this is very weird, very white paper. It is signed. I don't like the paper. I really don't like the paper. Can I show you what I'm talking about here? So like, normally books are kind of have like a yellow undertone to the paper, but Evocation is very white. It's like printer paper. It is that like glaring white. I don't like it. I don't like how it feels. I am being a bit picky now, but the end papers feel weird as well. The end papers feel like they've just been kind of glued in. They're shiny and they're not actually, like, can you see down there at the bottom? Like right here, it's not really attached very well. And in the corners, it's kind of lifting off. I'm not very impressed with the finish on this one, I'll be honest. Yeah, it feels a bit like the actual finish feels cheap. The book looks stunning, but the finish, I'm not very impressed with that. So synopsis of Evocation, I can't actually pronounce it. Family curse threatens the life of David, a medium. He will turn to the only person he's ever trusted, his sorcerer ex-boyfriend, Reese, which means he'll have to open his heart to Moira, Reese's astrologer wife. Meet David, Reese and Moira for the first... Sorry, Bella's being annoying. Meet David, Reese and Moira for the first time as they navigate magic-riddled Boston through hierarchical secret societies, familial bonds from beyond the grave, and much more in this gorgeous, richly imagined novel. Okay, the book sounds good. I was very intrigued by it. I'll be totally honest, the finish, disappointing, feels cheap, but I am excited by the book. Finally, what we're all here for is the Fairy Loot Romantasy box. So the theme for this one is Enchanted Fay. So this is the first Romantasy box. So I am kind of hoping this is going to be good. We have... There was Bella doing the most disturbing jump off the desk as possible. We have got a character artwork and author letter. So the book has got blue solid sprayed edges top and bottom and a kind of mushroom motif, toadstool motif along the edge. The book is Law of the Wilds by Annalee Sabrana. I don't actually know anything about this book. I have no idea if that is the original cover or not. That's stunning. So this is the reverse. Right, I don't like people on my cover. So that cover I don't really like because there's people on it. That cover I don't really like because there's people on it. But I might actually reverse this one and have all of the shelves with the potions because I think that looks really cool. So the naked hardback has got gilding on it and this sort of forest scene in the background, which is very, very pretty. End papers with more artwork. It is signed and there is no map. Do we just not do maps in books anymore? Maps are the best part. So let's get a dress now. We'll read out the synopsis. In a land ruled by ruthless Fay, 21-year-old Law Alimiu's village is trapped in a forested prison. Law knows that any escape attempt is futile. Her scars are a testament to her past failures. But when her village is threatened, Law makes a desperate deal with a Fey lord. She convinces him that she will risk her life for wealth, but really she's after the one thing the Fey covet above all, magic of her own. As Law navigates the hostile world outside of her village, she's forced to rely on two Fey males to survive. When undeniable chemistry ignites, she's not just in danger of losing her life, but also her heart to the very creatures she can never trust. The perfect cottagecore book about books with a love triangle that will keep you guessing. Big claims. Okay. Oh, I feel like this is a good selection. So this is this month's edges. Very, very pretty. And the titles, I don't know. I think Evocation is probably the book that I'm most intrigued by. However, Law of the Wilds also could be very, very intriguing to me. And Law of the Wilds might tip it because I really don't like the look and the feel of Evocation. I like the sound of the book, but I don't like how it looks or how it feels. So that was this month's unboxing. I will see you back here in no time at all for you, but for me it's going to be probably a couple of weeks when I have when I will pick my next books and do my first chapter challenges and decide what I'm reading for my book box battle. And at that point I will actually be able to tell you a bit more about what my kind of like predicted theories are going to be. Hello again. Hi, so I am about to pick my books for my book box battle. So obviously you've just seen the unboxing, but I've got the 3 books here: To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods, Evocation, which I still can't say, and Law of the Wild. I'm going to pick 2 books out of the jar. So I'm going to be doing fresh chapters on 5 books. Normally I do 4 books, but I feel like only having like 1 wild card feels a little bit, I want to do more. Anyway, so shake, shake, shake. Let's see what we're gonna get. I'm going with this one and this one. So we have got A Marvellous Light. Ooh, interesting. And Only a Monster. So, okay. A Marvellous Light came from a Luma Crate, and Only a Monster, I think, was Fairy Reach. Let me see. Yeah, Only a Monster was a fairy loot book. I don't know if it was adult or YA. But here is the stack of options. So I'm going to go through just my initial thoughts. To gaze up, oh great, here comes Upon Wicked Gods. I don't think I'm going to enjoy it. I feel like it's going to be a bit too YA. Only a Monster as well. I've heard mixed things. I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to put that one above To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods. Next, oh God, next I'm going to go with Law of the Wilds. So I've heard mixed things about this one, but I do think that if I want to read it soon. If I don't read it like now, I don't know when I will get to it. I am excited for both of these. My friend Susanna will literally kill me if I, or not literally, will yell at me if I don't pick A Marvellous Light. I do think that this one has got a very high chance of winning. This one, same as Starling House, has got this plastic see-through cover, and I'm going to say exactly the same as I said for Starling House. I love the aesthetic. I love the look of it. I hate the feel of it. It feels horrible. So I will be reading this one with the cover off, but yeah, this is that one. Evocation as well. I am very intrigued. I've never read anything by S.T. Gibson, but I hear a lot of really good things about them as an author. But I think A Marvellous Light is probably gonna win. So this is my prediction stack with, I think, A Marvellous Light is possibly going to be in number 1, and To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods I think is going to be the one that I'm least intrigued by. So I'm going to, but yeah, I'm going to read the first chapters of these 5, and I will then pick which book I will be reading for the rest of this vlog. Hopefully I can finish it quite quickly, and in a dream world I'll read a second, but let's be honest, that's yet to happen. So let's see. Anyway, I'm going to go and do my first chapter challenges in a second, and I will come back to you with my... Okay, so I decided to read my first chapters downstairs. First chapter of Marvellous Light. We basically have just seen someone be like beaten up and I think killed to find an object. I don't really know what happened. It threw us straight into the action. It felt more like a prologue than a chapter 1. And I don't know how much like that's going to come back into the story. Intrigued, but I think I could be intrigued more. Okay, book 2 is Evocation. I've actually checked pronunciation. It's either Evocation or Evocation. So I'm going to switch between the two pronunciations. I'm honestly not sure. I feel like I'm more intrigued by this one, but I feel like I already don't like the main character. So in this one we're following David, who is very, very rich, and he is a medium. And he's met this like widow, and is basically has done like a seance for her dead husband, and has then something else has happened, and he's now just text his, I think like maybe former lover, I don't really know, saying, what do you know about possession? This one is a lot shorter. I think I could get through this one quickly. I think it would be a fun read. I also think this would be a really good read to leave until spooky season. I think based on that, I'm going to put it under A Marvellous Light. Okay, book 3, Law of the Wilds. A bit bored, actually. Not really intrigued at all. So we've met our main character, Law, and her friend, whose name I have already forgotten, Gray. And we've, through info dump, have learnt that they are human who are forced to stay in this village by the Fay, and the Fay are really horrible. I feel like it's going to be a writing style I'm not going to enjoy. So currently going to be bottom of the stack, and I'm going to move on to Only a Monster. I had read the first chapter of this one a few months ago. I've read the prologue and the first chapter, not months ago, what am I talking about? A few years ago, actually. Quite a long time ago. And I was obviously intrigued enough. I think I did that when I was doing a big unhaul and I was reading the first chapter of like most of my books to decide what I was going to unhaul. Anyway, I was intrigued. But I never obviously finished reading it. So because I couldn't remember what had happened in the first chapter when I'd read it the first time round, I have read the prologue in chapter 1 and chapter 2. And I'm really intrigued. I am enjoying this. It's exciting. So we're following this family we're following Joan, who her family are monsters. So in the summer she lives with her gran and she's like, what are you talking about? We're not monsters. But her gran sees, you know, being a monster is a good thing. They just, you know, look like normal people, but there's some sort of like magic that's involved. Anyway, Joan has just accidentally slipped through time and has discovered that by doing that she has taken, like, she's stolen hours of a man's life, which has really obviously upset her. So I am intrigued. I think it will be very fast paced. I think it will be a fun, quick read. I think I'm actually going to put it above A Marvellous Light, my stack down there. And I know that, again, my friend Zoo is going to tell me off for putting it above A Marvellous Light and not reading A Marvellous Light. But I think that first chapter, well, those first 2 chapters intrigued me more than the first chapter of A Marvellous Light did. So, last book, To Gaze Upon Wicked. Okay, that's a really awkward angle, but I can't pick up all of the books in one hand, so I'm going to squish down. So, To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods. I actually quite enjoyed the first chapter of this one, and I'm going to put it there. So in To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods, we've met our main character who, and we've kind of learnt about the world which has been overtaken by the Romans. The world that she lives in has magic and the Romans have science, and science has won. I'll just try and move these bits. Ooh. So this is my final stack. So I think I'm going to read Only a Monster, Marvellous Light is in 2, To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods 3rd, Evocation in 4th, and Law of the Wilds in 5th. So Only a Monster is going to be my first read of this vlog, and then let's see how much further through this stack we get. I do want to say the only reason that Evocation's so low down is because I think I want to save it for spooky season. It probably is more intriguing than To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods, but I'm more likely to want to read Wicked Gods now than Evocation. So that is my stack. Interesting that the 3 new ones are the 3 at the bottom. But I'm going to read Only a Monster, and I'll let you know how I'm getting on with it. Hello, so I realised I actually haven't done an update for this vlog yet. Wow, my hair is a state. I've been at agility with Bracken and my hair's been in a ponytail and it's quite a lot of running around and I got sweaty. So anyway, I'm reading Only a Monster. I am about halfway through, 170 pages on through. I'm really enjoying this book. It's so good. Like, why is nobody talking of this book? Like, it is so good. So we're following Joan, who has found out that her family are monsters, and monsters can travel through time, and they do that by taking time from humans. So if they take, say, a week from a human, that human will die a week earlier than they should have. Anyway, so Joan finds this out and is absolutely disgusted. Ends up going to see this guy that she works with, who she fancies and had been on a date with. Great, now my camera's flashing. And they get caught by a whole group of monsters, and then suddenly Nick, the guy that she's with, kind of goes... Okay, so battery died, so take 2 here. So Joan discovers that she and her family are monsters. She then finds out that Nick, this guy that she fancies and is friends with, that he is a monster hunter. He is the fabled hero. Hi, Bracken. Get off, get off. So she and Aaron, who is another monster but from like a opposing family to Joan's family, escape through time back to the 90s. And Joan wants to basically try and change time, stop it so that her family don't get killed. And this is kind of where I'm up to at the moment, because we found out that you can't change time. Or so it's thought. And I am really enjoying, first of all, I'm really enjoying the tension. There are stakes, and these stakes are high, which I love, especially in a YA. I love anything where those stakes are high and they are real. You know, I don't want the stakes to be, oh, everyone's going to die, but don't worry, it's fine. Like Sarah J. Maas, where everybody who dies comes back to life. There's no stakes then, are there? But yeah, in here the stakes are high and I am excited for it. I also really like the fact that the hero is the bad guy. I think it's like, it's such a simple twist, but it's a really interesting twist where we're on the side of the monsters and we're on the side, you know, and the guy labelled the hero, who typically would be the good guy, they're the one that is, you know, that we're against, and I'm really enjoying that dynamic. This book is quite short. It's about 300 odd pages, 350 pages. And yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm having a great time so far. I'm about halfway through, like I said, and it's now about 4:30 on Sunday. I'm going to probably spend most of tonight reading this. I might be able to finish it tonight, which means I might be able to pick up a second book. Might be, what did I choose next? A Marvellous Light. Ugh, I can't talk. A Marvellous Light, which would be good. But yeah, this is a surprise. This is one that I like I said, I had done a first chapter challenge on this one ages and ages ago, like well over a year ago. And I'd been intrigued enough to keep it thinking, it sounds okay. You know, I'll read it, I'll give it a go. But yeah, I am really having a great time with this, which I'm surprised by. So yeah, going to continue with Only a Monster. Also, I really like the edges because they're really pretty, but they're quite simple, and I like there's a clock in there. Anyway, I'm going to carry on reading. See you in a minute. Hello, it is Sunday night, and I have finished reading Only a Monster. I really liked this. I am surprised at how much I enjoyed it. I haven't yet rated it, but I feel like it's going to end up being around about probably a 4-star. I really enjoyed it. I really liked the dynamic of the monsters and heroes. I liked the kind of enemies to friends dynamic with Aaron and Joan, and I hope we see Aaron again. I have heard that book 2 isn't quite as good as book 1, but I would like, I might continue. I haven't decided yet, but I potentially might continue if I can like find book 2 cheap somewhere. But yeah, I liked their dynamic. I liked the way that the fantasy plot line was, it felt quite like an, it sounds silly, but it felt like quite an intelligent plot line. You know, it wasn't just a clear-cut kind of good and evil. And there's a lot more intricacies to it. There's a lot of questions left open for, obviously, for a sequel. Yeah, I had a really great time with it. I mean, I've also read it in 2 days, which I think proves I had a really great time with it. It does mean, because it is only Sunday, I am going to pick up another book, which would be A Marvellous Light. And I'm really excited about that one because my friend Zoo has been telling me for months and months that I need to read it, and I've always gone, yeah, no, it's on my shelf. But I'm actually going to pick it up and read it, and she will be very proud of me. Does mean that, you know how sometimes when like it's a friend's fave and you're like, I do want to read it, but now the pressure is on. So I might not tell her that I'm reading it until I decide whether or not I'm enjoying it or not. But yeah, I'm excited to get to that one. And I think that's all of my updates, to be totally honest. Don't really have much to say. Read this. It was really good. I'm going to read A Marvellous Light. Got a cat sleeping on my lap. About to go to bed. Bracken has taken herself off to bed already. She's fast asleep in her bed. So, yeah. Time for me to join the ranks in Bedfordshire. Tomorrow is bank holiday, so I'm going to be able to do some more reading, hopefully get a chunk of the way through A Marvellous Light. This weekend also, I don't think I've mentioned this, but this weekend has been final. Hello, it's Monday night. I've dyed my hair, which I'm not 100% sure if I'm happy with, but it looks a little bit more kind of ginge than I was wanting, but it's fine, I'll get used to it. Anyway, the actual reason for the update was I am reading A Marvellous Light. I'm not far through, I'm 60 pages through. I don't really know what's happening yet, and I'm not sure at this moment in time that I am fully on board with the like historical writing style, which is a shame. So one of my friends, Sue, whose reading opinion I wholeheartedly trust, loves this book and has been telling me for ages to read it. So I have high hopes, but yeah, at the moment I'm struggling to engage with the writing style. Because I'm only 60 pages in. I'm about, like, what chapter am I on? Chapter 6 now? Yeah, about to read chapter 6. And I don't really know what's happened. So in the first chapter, which read like a prologue, we had this guy who was attacked. Then we've met what I think are our main characters, who are Robin, who has taken the job of this guy that was attacked. And the other guy is Edwin. And Edwin has explained to Robin that there is magic in the world. It reads like in one of the Harry Potter books, you know how one of the Harry Potter books starts with the other Prime Minister and is like the Muggle Prime Minister, and Cornelius Fudge comes and like meets him and is like, hey, so yeah, this has happened. It reads like that from the Muggle Prime Minister's point of view, because we're in like a non-magic London with a non-magic government, and Robin does not have magic, but magic exists in this world as like a hidden world. And Edwin does have magic, but he isn't very good at magic. Yeah, and the reason that the first guy was beaten up was that he'd got a thing, and some bad guys are looking for this unspecified object. I don't actually know what's happening. I do not know what the plot is so far. So yeah, this weekend was bank holiday, so I was meant to kind of spend more time reading today, but I didn't. I did a big shop. I dyed my hair, and I was reading a bit, and then I fell asleep instead. So that's a problem. I do want to still try and get this one read this week. Again, just like usual, my vlogs. What are you doing, Bella? Bella's on my lap and is attacking my fingers. I'm being silly Pippi. Yeah, I want to try and get this vlog wrapped up on Thursday. It's also my cousin's wedding this weekend. So on Thursday evening, I'm travelling down to back down to Devon, and it's my cousin's wedding over the weekend. So I would like this vlog to be finished edited and scheduled ideally by Thursday. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but we will try. The other thing that I have decided, for the last like month or two, I've been struggling to think of like what videos to put out, because have been doing for the last year 3 videos a week, and I've been kind of struggling to keep up with that for the last like month or so, and I felt like some of the videos that I've either not put a video out, or they've just been a bit shit. So I've decided I'm going to just do 2 videos a week from now on. So I'm going to post on Wednesdays and Sundays. So vlogs on Sundays and then another video on Wednesdays, which I'm excited by because I think that is an amount that is very manageable, not only for like the ideas, but also for the editing and the filming and everything else. I can get all that done, which is good. So yeah, I want to try and finish Marvellous Light this week, get this video edited and up. I've also got to do some filming as well, but that's fine. And that's my update. I think little Miss Bracken. Bracken? Where are you? Do you need a wee, my darling? Do you need a wee? I take that as a yes. I'm going to let those 2 go out for wees, and I will go to bed and see you. Hello, it's Wednesday night, and I think I'm actually going to wrap this vlog up now, just so I can get it edited for tomorrow. I have not finished A Marvellous Light. I'm on about page 115. Yeah, I'm up to chapter 10, so I'm this far through, and I don't really know what I'm thinking, to be honest. It's a sort of historical fantasy, a kind of Regency setting, and it still gives me the vibes of, I guess, like Harry Potter from the Muggles' point of view. And I feel like it might be something to do with the writing, because it's historical and it's a bit like, it's that kind of early 20th century, lots of old chaps, old boys, which I don't really like. Yeah, I'm not yet sucked into the story, and at about 1/3 of the way through a book, I kind of expect to have been sucked into the story. So it's not going to be a 5-star, but it still could be enjoyable. Like, I still think this could be like at the moment it feels like it's probably a 3, but I feel like it could be more than that. I could, by the end, get more sucked in. I'm starting to get to know. I don't feel like there's been quite enough character progression for, at this stage, to be really intrigued by them, but I am starting to get to know them, starting to see the like inklings of romance. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, but I'm not loving it. I think, like I said, I'm wrapping this vlog up now. This is gonna take me quite a while to read, I think. Like, it's been, when did I start this one? I think I started it on Sunday, so I think I'm now on like day 4 of reading it, and I'll be honest, I'm just not picking it up. Rather than pick up and read this book, I tend to pick this one up instead, and I scroll. Yeah, I'm finding like pretty much I can read like a chapter at a time, and then I'm like, yeah, done. I need to stop now, which is exactly what I've done now. I've just read a chapter and then put it down to do this vlog update. I'm forcing myself to read a chapter at a time rather than enjoying it. I think what I'm actually going to do, just because basically I've got a very busy month in May. So today's Wednesday, tomorrow I'm driving down to Devon, Friday I'm helping my parents clean out they've bought a new house and I'm helping them kind of clean and empty that before they can do anything else with it. Saturday is my cousin's wedding. Sunday I'm coming back up home. I've then got Monday to Thursday up here. Next Friday I'm back down at my parents'. Saturday I'm flying to Italy for a week. And then when I come back I'm then home, but that's like then the last week of the month. So this weekend I'm basically not really going to be reading very much because I'm going to be at my parents' and probably not reading a lot. Next week, next week I've got like, the week isn't too bad, it's normal, but the following weekend I'm flying to Italy. I don't think I'm going to be reading a huge amount there. I've also got 3 books that I need to read for work, which, yeah, that suddenly is sneaking up on me. So I need to, actually 4 books I need to read, 5. I've got 3 books that I'm actually being paid to work on. There's one that I'm reading as like a kind of book club thing, which is like a sort of paid thing, I guess. And then the last one is The Familiar, which me and my friends are reading. So I've got a lot of books that I need to read in the next sort of 2 weeks. And a lot of plans in that time as well. So I think what I'm going to do is section off the rest of A Marvellous Light and aim to, I've got 200 pages left. I think if I aim to have it finished by Monday, so I'm going to do 50-page sections, have it finished by Monday, and then that gives me next week to pick up some of the other books that I'm reading. I also today started reading The Viscount Who Loved Me on audiobook. Yes, I could have picked up one of the other books that I'm reading, but I didn't. Actually, I couldn't really, to be honest, because the 3 books for work that I have to read, they are all ARCs, so I don't have audios of them. I don't think The Familiar is on Spotify, and I don't want to pay for it because I want to annotate that one, so I want to read it physically. And the other one that I'm reading for like the work kind of book club is an indie, and so I don't think it's on Spotify. And again, I don't want to have to pay like 10 quid already for it. I don't want to buy an audiobook for it either. Plus, again, I want to annotate it. So yeah, that's that. I'm a tinsy bit disappointed, but I'm not, this is going to sound weird, I'm a tinsy bit disappointed, but I'm not mad about this. I feel like it could be, like I said, I don't think it's ever going to be a 5-star for me, and I'm, at this moment in time, I can't see myself continuing this series on. But I think, yeah, I'm hoping that get slightly better. I think it hopefully will end up as just like an enjoyable yet forgettable read. Anyway, that is a bit of a rambly update. I've got my Bella next to me. Hey baby. And Bracken's behind. She's down there. Let me see her. There she is on the end of the sofa. Excuse the laundry. So sorry Belle. Yes, so I'm going to wrap this vlog up and I will see you next week for the next vlog. And I should have a video going up next week as well. But if you like this video, please do leave me a like, comment down below. If you want to just leave me a emoji to let me know you're here, leave me a monster emoji for Only a Monster, because I really enjoyed that one. Can't remember, gave it 4.5 stars. Don't know if I told you that or not, but I did really enjoy that one. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.